changed, or just want attention. It is up to you as parents to recognize these cues and give them what they need. Don't worry though, eventually they'll get tuckered out and fall asleep. And when they do, you want to make sure it's in their own crib and not in the bed with you. The crib should not have any toys, stuffed animals, pillows, or blankets in it, as they could cause suffocation. Instead, your baby's crib should just have a tight-fitted sheet over the mattress. To keep your baby from getting cold at night, you can wrap them in a swaddler or a tight blanket. Before you know it, your baby will be reaching exciting developmental milestones. By the time they are about 4.5 months old, they should be able to roll over from their tummy to their back. In order to do this, their tummy, arm, and leg muscles need to be strong enough. To help them get to this point, you can give them tummy time at least once a day, even if it's just for a few minutes at a time. They may be frustrated at first, but don't worry, they'll get the hang of it. Speaking of muscles, your baby's legs are very strong at this point. If you hold her up, she should be able to support her own weight. Her stepping reflex may even kick in. Once your baby is about 4 months old, she'll be ready to start solid foods. You'll want to start with baby cereal or oatmeal, which you mix with breast milk or formula. Once they get the hang of that, you can start giving them fruits and vegetables. You can buy these in jars at the grocery store, or if you're feeling really productive, you can even make your own baby food. Once your baby is about 3 or 4 months, she'll discover that she has feet, and she'll love playing with them, sometimes even putting them in her mouth. Around the same time, your baby will develop an interest for objects around her, doing whatever it takes to get them in her hands. She may scoop it towards her with her arm, which is one of the earliest gross motor skills she will develop. Remember, it will probably end up in her mouth, so don't give her anything that's small enough to choke on. Eventually, your baby will be more developed in their fine motor skills, which involve picking things up and passing them from one hand to the other. By about 6 months, your baby should be able to sit up on their own without any support. This is a pretty big milestone for babies. At this point, they'll be crawling in no time.
Okay.
While your baby does develop quite a bit physically, they do plenty of cognitive development as well. During the first few months, your baby will express herself by cooing. By 6 months, she should start babbling.
I love you.
Make sure that you talk back to your baby when they do this, so that they can develop an interest in communication. It will also help them refine their language skills later on.
You love Daddy? Is that what you're saying?
You never know what you might hear your baby say.
I love you.
Your baby is still pretty young, but she's actually much more aware of her surroundings than you might think. She is very intuitive and can pick up on the mood of a room quite well. She can even recognize the difference in your tone, so she might be more responsive when you say no. I wouldn't count on it though, because she only understands the tone of your voice, not the actual meaning of the word. Keep in mind that your baby picks up on your stress levels, and she will respond accordingly, so try your best not to get upset around her. Babies learn a lot about social interaction by watching their parents. You can help her understand healthy relationships by forming a strong bond with her as well as your partner. Babies require a lot of attention, which can be challenging at times. Remember that their frustration comes from needing something. It is important to fulfill their needs so that they can develop trust as well as a secure attachment. There are many decisions that parents must make. For instance, whether or not you decide to take your child to daycare. You will also choose a pediatrician for your child and it is very important to listen to what they have to say. Some of their advice may not apply to everyone, but that is not the case with vaccines. You should make sure your child is up to date on all their immunizations, which will help prevent the spread of many horrible diseases. Raising a child takes a lot of time and energy, and may be one of the most difficult things you will ever do. But don't worry, all the slobbery kisses, funny faces, and tiny hugs will make it the most rewarding job you've ever had.
I love you.